Hey everybody, thank you so much for joining me today. I am a little under the weather right now. Our entire house is actually sick. Belle came down with a cold. Summer colds just really freaking blow. No pun intended. Eve's got it too. I've got it. And just last night, Bub's like, I think I feel a little tickle in my throat. And last night, fortunately, like the sleep was a whole lot better because I think what happens with colds, at least with kids, it seems like the first night that they're coming down with it, it's like awful. I was up the night before so many times with a little bit. That's Eve, by the way. I say her nickname without even thinking. And then like Belle was coughing and stuff too, and it was just bad. But then by night two, they've exhausted themselves so much from it, they actually sleep really well. So that's what happened. And I slept really well because I was very tired too. So this is the chance anyway this morning that I have to shoot my July favorites. And I've tried to, I look at this stuff and now I'm thinking, there's kind of still a lot of stuff, but I tried to really be very selective with the things I'm mentioning here. There's so many different videos that I do that give a different kind of recommendation here or there, you know, and so I want to make sure that my best in beauty is really like the best of the best. Like, let's get picky. So I do feel that's really what I'm sharing with you today. And I also am going to share a couple of duds. Like one thing I really don't like and the other thing, I'll just save it for that segment of the video. I've got a little bone to pick with a certain brand. But can I mention how much I love these little H&M cardigans? They're kind of a little bit longer. There's this notch on the side, and I have them in 3 colors. I think they were only like 12 bucks or something. I have the like light kind of peachy pink shade, a hot pink, and then this gray as well. And they're so comfy. Like there's some give to them, you know, there's a little stretch, but I don't feel like slouchy and sloppy in them. And if you're wearing, you know, nursing tanks, or I just like live in tank tops a lot during the summer, but when you go out or when you're shooting a video, you know, maybe now and then you want to cover up a little bit, this is so nice and like breathable and good, so yay for that. I'm going to jump into a makeup thing that is rediscovered in my collection that I really like, and it's like when I first came across this item, I wasn't so nuts over it. In fact, I did like a review on my Beauty Broadcast Express channel, and I wasn't so like over the moon for it at that time, and I think maybe it was just the sheer amount of contouring palettes that were coming out at a certain time, you guys know. And this one for me just didn't stand out as much, and I don't know that it really did for tons of other people as well. I just don't hear it talked about that much, but I just randomly kind of was going through my drawers and decided to come back to it, and I'm really loving it because it's serving a lot of different functions for me, and it's the Lorac Pro Contour Palette. This is really excellent quality stuff in here. I'm loving it, and I'm using almost everything in here. I would say the couple things that I don't dip into as much would be like the yellow highlight shade, and usually I'm not using much of the deep contour, but the beige highlight has become like kind of a face powder. Really, this is my new face powder. I'm just using certain ones in certain places, right? So I've got the beige highlight shade, which is matte. It's really creamy and nice, and I'll put that, you know, under the eye area, center of my face. This medium contour shade feels kind of like bronzer to me. Like I got that around the hairline, a little bit here, you know, chiseling out the cheekbones. Sometimes I just do the light contour there. Like I can use either one. And then I never gave this shimmer highlight quite enough credit. It's giving a gorgeous glow as well. These are really soft pigmented shades. You know, if you are familiar with Lorac's texture in their eyeshadows, it's kind of like that pulled into a face palette. And due to that amount of pigmentation, this could maybe seem like a lot to some people, but I look at my skin and it looks really fresh. I don't feel like it appears to be caked up with makeup. It's working really well for me right now, and it's one of those things I was glad I kept it. Ooh, I'm gonna sneeze. My lash is still attached. But it's just one of those things that I look back on and I think I'm glad I held on to it even when it wasn't such a fixture in my collection, you know, because I've gone back to it now and I enjoy it more than I ever did when I first got it. So I don't know, I'm just seeing this as such like a face powder replacement. I'm not wearing any other powders on my skin, you know, except for blush other than these things. And so I really like that ability to do that. And a brush that I think is making my contour a little bit better or maybe just easier is this Sigma Soft Angled Contour. the F23, another rediscovered thing. This has been in my collection for at least a year, just kind of sitting there looking pretty in my brush storage thingy. And I've been using like their small contour brush. You've probably seen me pull for this a lot. And one day I'm just like, you know, I'm gonna go for this thing. And this really is quick and very easy for kind of getting there under the cheekbones. And I really like taking it around the hairline as well, because there's a lot of kind of mobility in these bristles. I can use my e.l.f. complexion brush as well for these steps, but this does do the cheek contour better than that. It kind of concentrates the product in there just a little bit better. Just a really good shape and size. Impeccable softness as well with this brush, but it's a chunky little thing, you know, so I really like that. Another makeup item that I've just been finding to be super useful and practical has been my Smashbox Photo Finish Primer with the SPF 20 in it, because now and then I've been reaching for different moisturizers that may or may not contain the SPF, and so I feel like I'm getting that extra level of treatment when it's in here, because sometimes my foundations don't have it in there either. On top of that, I feel like this is a nice like smoothing primer. It doesn't feel exactly like regular photo finish to me. It almost feels just a little bit more on the moisturizing side, and just step down slightly in the silkiness, but it still does have kind of a silky smooth thing happening there. So I like what it does just for the texture of the skin, but then the added SPF is just nice to have that little backup there. Let's talk nighttime skincare for a second, because these milk sticks have been huge. I love these so much. I kind of gave these a little mention when I was talking about the cooling water stick. And by the way, the dupe for the cooling water stick is most definitely the Hard Candy Sheer Envy Coconut Water Primer Stick. This is so good. I love running that under the eye area when I'm first starting my makeup, like before I throw that other primer on. Like, this goes under the eyes and it feels so good. But at nighttime, I've got the Matcha Toner from Milk, and I've also got the Hydrating Oil Stick. And toner's one of those things like, do I need a toner? I haven't really been using much toner, but okay, I'm gonna throw this on. It feels kind of cooling and refreshing on the skin, and I just kind of graze that all over the skin. It's like, it's got a nice slip to it, just a really nice smoothness, and I just put it on all over and kind of pat it in. And then this Hydrating Oil Stick. Here's the weird thing about me for a second. Well, one weird thing. I could go on, but we're just gonna talk one weird thing here. Normally when I have new makeup, I overuse the product. Like I'll get a new foundation and my instinct will be to use too much of it. And then with skincare, oddly enough, my instinct is usually to use not enough. I'll come back to a moisturizer, or maybe it's like a scrub or a mask or something, and I'll be like, oh, I just needed to use a little bit more of that product, and now I'm seeing the effects. And that was totally my experience with the hydrating oil. Yes, this is just a clear oil stick. Like, you can look right through it. It is clear. And at first I was doing like basically one pass over my skin where I felt like I had it everywhere, and then I kind of blended it in. And using it that way, like, I remember thinking I'm kind of ho-hum on this product. You know, it's moisturizing enough. I wake up in the morning, I feel like it's totally like gone. I don't know. I wasn't profoundly like appreciating this product. And then I thought, I'm just gonna use some more. So I like layered it on to where I looked like I was dewy and glowing after I used it. I would say maybe like double the product is what I use. Like one pass over the skin, then another pass over. Particularly in like the under eye area around here, any places where I know I'm really dry, I really laid it on thick. And then I really was seeing something, and I was surprised that it wasn't like breaking me out, or, you know, that amount of product use wasn't having some kind of adverse effect in some way, but it was doing really well. And I feel like when I wake up in the morning to do my makeup, I'm starting with better skin. So like the Matcha Toner, it's really nice, but I think I would probably give the most credit of the two things. If you were just gonna get one, I would say the hydrating oil is pretty dang awesome. Don't be afraid, put it on heavily. I mean, I've only given this product like one little twist up, and I have been using these two things for well over a month now. I feel like I'm gonna have these for such a long time, but they're working really well. And also, like I said, the hard candy stick, you know, the cooling water is great for Milk, but this is pretty much just like it. A couple other things here that aren't really especially makeup related, but this Aveeno Baby Continuous Protection Protection Sensitive Skin Lotion. This is a sunscreen with SPF 50, and this is really, really good. Belle has been outside a lot this summer, a lot of pool time, a lot of just outdoor playtime. She has not had a sunburn yet, and I really credit this stuff. I slather this all over her, and she has not had any sensitivity to it. You know, I get it all over her face, everywhere. No problems in that way, and no burning. And also Eve too, and she's probably got the most, you know, sensitive young little 6-month-old baby skin. This kept her from burning. Like when we were down in Florida on vacation, I wasn't worried. It says sweat and water resistant for 80 minutes, and I think it's certainly proven itself in that way. And I'll put it on my face too. That's the other good point. Anyone who deals with melasma knows this, like sun is kind of your enemy, because if you have skin that's prone to getting the melasma, for me, hormones, the hormones of pregnancy really bring that on in me. I'm not pregnant now, but I'm saying like when I was, that would really come out in my skin, but also the sun will bring it out kind of regardless. And that's this kind of dark discoloration. I get it here. Some people get it like, it's really common on the upper lip area. So you need a really, really good sunscreen if you're gonna be out in the sun. And this is what I'll put on my face. And then I'll just like spray that super goop stuff that I got from the Nordstrom sale, put that all over my body. But this is a really good sunscreen you can count on. And I'm saying it in this video because even if you don't have kids and maybe you are extra sensitive or you're just looking for something that has proven itself that really does work, this stuff is good. And then I got a shower thing. This Dove Deep Moisture Shower Foam. This is the best like foamy shower product I've used. It's foamy, but it's still kind of nourishing. And even though I'm all stuffed up, I can still kind of smell what this smells like, and it's that Dove scent. It's kind of like Dove soap, but a little bit of like added freshness mixed in. It's really good, and I put it on all over. It's just like such a quick process, a really quick rinse. Sometimes, you know, you have to just take a quick shower. Like it just needs to be fast, and this is the quickest way to do it, but it's also not drying at all. It actually feels like it's giving some moisture back. So yay for that. I've enjoyed it. I got mine from Walgreens, and I've seen it other places too. Now let's talk about what I'm not really liking so much. First off, a dud for me is the Too Faced Melted Latex Liquefied High Shine Lipstick. This is a hair grabber. You know, you walk outside with the slightest bit of breeze and it's pulling stuff in. It's pulling in God knows what else, honestly. Like it's sticky, it's uncomfortable. I just don't have the patience for it. As a mom, you have no choice but to have like patience for so many things in life, but lip gloss doesn't have to be one of those. Like life's too short for uncomfortable lip gloss. Just get something that feels good. Get something that feels like lip balm. There are about like 8 zillion comfortable lip products out there, and this, you know, while it's gonna be beautiful color and it's opaque and the color really shows and it's shiny, that's nice. But the thickness and the stickiness is a real problem for me. I don't want to have to think about the lip product nonstop. I want it to feel good, and I'm picky about that, so that's what's coming through in this little feedback here. I like the Too Faced regular melted stuff. I even like a couple of their melted metallic shades, but this melted latex, like that doesn't even sound appealing to me to say that, like melted latex. My other problem here is this Milani Color Harmony in Bronze Burst. I have no problem really with the product itself. It's good. It's kind of a combination blush, and it's got a goldeny kind of highlight there. It looks pretty on my skin, like if I were to swatch this blush type area, and then there's the highlight separately. It's kind of this pretty rusty type shade, and it looks nice on the skin. It's pigmented enough, but do you know what I spent on this at Walgreens? $12.99. Like, who are you, Milani? Like, I remember back in the day when they were putting out those sunset duos, you know, those were kind of like a glowy thing and a little bit of blush, and I'm about positive I wouldn't have spent more than $7 or $8 on one of those. Or like, you know, little mosaic powders and different things that they've had out over the years. They were about half the price, and now I look at this and I'm thinking, you know, I love you, Milani. I love this brand in the drugstore, but it's like, what are you turning into? This is nice, but it's not like transcendent. I don't know. It frustrates me. I want my old Milani back. I want the old Milani prices. Not that they've priced like their entire line in ridiculous ways, but this was a new thing. It was out in a new display, and I thought, I don't know that I like the direction this is going. And I didn't even realize it until after I bought it. I glanced at the receipt and I was like, wait, no, that wasn't $12.99, was it really? I checked the website, and yes, indeed, this is a $12.99 product, and I don't think it's really worth it. Rant over. I'm stuffy. My makeup's hanging in there though. I'm wearing my Urban Decay All Nighter foundation. I've kind of come back to that a few days here recently, and that'll hold up to some nose wiping, won't it? Yeah. And because apparently I just want to keep this video rolling and don't want to stop talking, on my lips I have 3 different products. I don't have the patience for one sticky product, but I will put on 3 comfortable ones and drop one. I got the new Anastasia palette, the Subculture palette. Done one look with that so far. It was a success, I must say, thus far, but I've got this Anastasia matte lipstick in Rum Punch that I bought at the same time. And it's like a deep rosy color with some warmth to it. So it's kind of this nice like late summer, little bit of richness in the shade. Just feeling it. I really like that. But I wanted a bit more shine and honestly some more moisture because my lips are really, really dry. So in the center of my lip, I layered on the Revlon Ultra HD. I actually just put this on and left a little gap for the Revlon, the Ultra HD in HD Sand. This is the perfect like nude color from this line. And then I've got this L'Oreal Infallible Paints Metallics in the shade Moonlust. If you're into this kind of lip topper idea, you know, where you put something kind of glowy there in the center, this is that kind of shade for me. I feel like I'm gonna use this so much, and it's not quite as like goldeny and bright as the Jouer Skinny Dip. See, it's got a little more rosiness to it, but it's still very metallic, and I see myself reaching for this a heck of a lot because I do love this formula. It's even less sticky than the Jouer, and I see it working on top of so many lip colors where I just want that little bit of shine, but not all the sticky, not all the, you know, thick gloss. Sorry, that was my phone. So I think looking around here, that's all I have. If this turns out to be a super long video, I apologize. Thank you for taking time to watch. If you're still with me here at the end, thank you so much. I appreciate you. I'm so glad you enjoy the videos that I make, and I will see you very soon. My eyes are watering because a sneeze is coming. Bye.